Chapter 6. The Heist. Maya, Finn, and Nora approached the towering headquarters of Dr. Emerson, the creator of the emotion transfer technology that had divided Neo-Tokyo into the haves and the have-nots. The sleek, imposing structure loomed before them, its facade a testament to the wealth and power of the man who controlled the city's emotional landscape. As they scanned the perimeter, Finn tapped away at his portable hacking console, his fingers flying across the holographic interface. "The security grid is heavily fortified," he muttered, brow furrowed in concentration. "Motion sensors, biometric scanners, and an electromagnetic pulse field. They really don't want anyone getting in." Maya glanced at Nora, noting the tension in her sister's posture. "Are you sure you're up for this?" she asked, her voice laced with concern. "We can still turn back, you know." Nora's jaw tightened, her eyes steely with determination. "No," she said firmly. "I need to see this through. For too long I've been content to live in ignorance, to embrace the comforts of my privileged life. But now I know the truth, and I can't turn a blind eye to it." Finn looked up from his console, a small smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. "Well then, let's get to work." With Finn's technical expertise and Maya's hacking skills, they managed to bypass the security measures, slipping past the outer perimeter and into the sleek, sterile corridors of the facility. The air was thick, with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant hum of machinery. As they made their way deeper into the building, Maya couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. She knew that they were venturing into the heart of the enemy's stronghold, and the stakes had never been higher. But the thought of the emotions trapped within the confines of Dr. Emerson's vault spurred her onward, fueling her determination. Nora, on the other hand, seemed to be constantly on edge, her eyes darting from one corner to the next, as if expecting danger to materialize at any moment. Maya couldn't blame her. Nora had spent her life in the rarefied world of the emotion-rich elite, and this was an entirely foreign and unsettling environment. Suddenly, Finn raised a hand, signaling them to halt. "We're close," he whispered. "The vault is just ahead, but the security is going to be tight." Maya nodded, her mind racing as she formulated a plan. "Okay, here's what we're going to do." The trio crept forward, sticking to the shadows and keeping their footsteps as light as possible. As they rounded the corner, the vault came into view, a massive, reinforced door guarded by a small army of security personnel. Finn quickly hacked into the facility's mainframe, diverting power and security protocols to create a brief window of opportunity. "Now," he hissed, and the three of them surged forward, Finn and Maya working in tandem to bypass the final security measures. The vault doors slid open, and Maya felt her breath catch in her throat. The room beyond was a veritable sea of flickering lights and pulsating energy. Each contained emotion radiating its own unique aura. "Incredible," Nora breathed, her eyes wide with a mixture of wonder and horror. "All of these are emotions," Maya replied, her voice heavy with the weight of the revelation. "Bottled up, commodified, and hoarded by the elite." She clenched her fists, a surge of righteous anger coursing through her. "This has to end." Finn's fingers flew across his console, his brow furrowed in concentration. "I'm uploading the data," he murmured. "Once we have the information we need, we can start the process of liberating these emotions." As the trio delved deeper into the vault, the sheer scale of the operation became increasingly clear. Row upon row of gleaming containers held a dizzying array of feelings, from the ecstasy of joy to the depths of despair. The air was thick with the palpable energy of the emotions, and Maya couldn't help but feel a sense of reverence mingled with outrage. Suddenly, a thunderous voice boomed through the chamber, startling them. "Well, well, well, what do we have here?" Maya spun around to see a tall, imposing figure striding towards them, his features obscured by the shadows. As he stepped into the light, Maya's stomach lurched. It was Dr. Emerson himself, his face etched with a cold, calculating expression. "I must admit, I'm impressed," the doctor said, his voice dripping with disdain. "You've managed to infiltrate my most secure facility, but did you really think you could waltz in and steal what is rightfully mine?" Finn stepped forward, his hands raised in a placating gesture. "Dr. Emerson, we know the truth about your operation. The way you've been controlling and profiting from the emotions of the people, it has to stop." Emerson's lips curled into a cruel smile. Ah, but you see, my dear boy, the emotions are mine to control. I'm the one who harnessed this incredible power, and I'm the one who decides who gets to experience it. Maya felt a surge of defiance, her eyes narrowing. You're wrong, Emerson. These emotions belong to the people, not to you. We won't let you keep hoarding them, keeping the masses trapped in a world of emotional deprivation. The doctor's expression darkened, and he gestured to the armed guards who had surrounded them. I'm afraid I can't let you leave with my precious cargo. After all, what would the city be without the carefully curated emotional experiences I've provided? Finn and Maya exchanged a glance, their fingers tightening around the weapons they had brought as a last resort. Nora, meanwhile, stood frozen, her face a mask of conflicting emotions. The standoff seemed to stretch on for an eternity, the tension palpable in the air. Maya knew that they were outnumbered and outgunned, but the thought of leaving the emotions trapped in Emerson's vault was simply unacceptable. As the guards began to close in, Maya made a split-second decision. Nora, get down, she shouted, pushing her sister to the ground as the room erupted into chaos. Gunfire echoed through the chamber, and Maya and Finn returned fire, their weapons blazing as they fought to create an opening. Nora cowered behind an overturned table, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and determination. In the midst of the chaos, Maya caught a glimpse of Emerson, his expression twisted with fury as he watched his precious vault come under attack. She knew that this was their one chance to strike a blow against his empire, and she wasn't about to let it slip through her fingers. Gritting her teeth, Maya charged forward, weaving between the barrage of bullets as she closed in on the doctor. Emerson's eyes widened in surprise, and he raised his own weapon, but Maya was faster. With a well-placed shot, she knocked the gun from his hand, causing him to stagger back in shock. It's over, Emerson, Maya growled, her finger on the trigger. Your reign of control ends here. But before she could deliver the final blow, a sudden commotion drew her attention. Finn was being overwhelmed by the guards, his weapon knocked from his grasp. Nora had risen from her cover, her face a mask of terror as she watched her sister's partner being surrounded. Maya's heart raced as she realized the dilemma. Should she take down Emerson or go to Finn's aid? The fate of the city hung in the balance, but she couldn't abandon her friend and teammate. With a frustrated cry, Maya turned and sprinted towards Finn, her weapon blazing as she fought to reach him. Emerson, sensing an opportunity, made a break for the exit, his guards providing cover fire. The room descended into chaos as the trio fought to escape, their only hope being the precious data they had managed to extract from the vault. As they finally burst out into the night, Maya couldn't help but feel a sense of bitter disappointment. They had come so close to bringing Emerson's empire crashing down, and yet he had slipped through their fingers. Battered and bruised, they made their way back to the Resistance's hideout, their minds racing with the implications of what they had discovered. The emotion trade was even more insidious than they had imagined, and the power wielded by Emerson was almost unimaginable. As they pored over the stolen data, Maya knew that they were facing an uphill battle. But the thought of those trapped emotions, denied to the masses, fueled her determination. They had to find a way to bring Emerson down and liberate the city from the shackles of emotional oppression. The war for the heart of Neo-Tokyo had only just begun.